Welcome back to one of the most scuffed podcast episodes. There's no way.
Yeah. Luda, no.
Can we even keep that in? What's up, guys? It's Luda, and I am most definitely outside right now. Yep, I'm outside. I am freezing. Really cold. I'm very much so cold. I am actually currently in Georgia. I'm visiting family for Christmas. It was Christmas 2 days ago, a day ago. I don't even know what's going on. And this wasn't actually meant to be recorded here. I had an episode recorded and ready, and then it just didn't turn out and it didn't work. So instead of not putting out a video, I decided to film one here, podcast here. I say video and podcast. I get them mixed up. But we're here. I'm excited. I think I have this turned down. Wait. Oh my goodness, I turned this down. Okay, that was probably jank. This is gonna be one of the most jank episodes ever. I am outside, and I think it's 30-degree weather. Let me check real quick because I actually want to know. If you're listening without any video, then you're like, oh, she just sounds like she's on a different mic. No, I'm outside. I have a Christmas tree. It's festive. I'm in a raccoon onesie. But it's most definitely dark, and it's most definitely outside. I'm most definitely using my old HyperX quadcast mic, so shout out HyperX. But it's 33. It is 1 degree off, literally freezing, and I'm outside in a one singular onesie, no gloves. I've got some Minecraft socks on. These are kind of sick. But other than that, like, I am most definitely freezing. So this podcast won't be the longest one I've ever done. But I am definitely excited because it's something new, you know? It's something new. Seeking new year, new me. We're going to be out here in the cold. This is not new me. I'm not doing this a lot. I'm not going to say ever again because, like, this is kind of fun. But welcome back to LudaCast. I hope you guys had a very, very Merry Christmas. I had a great Christmas, not going to lie. It was a little different than usual. Christmas Eve. We didn't actually get to go to our candlelight service because they did it, but they didn't do it. So, like, they did it, but they didn't do the fire, like the actual candles. They said it wasn't safe, but, like, how safe is fire? You know, like, are we really gonna say we can't do it because it's not safe? Oh, I don't know. I personally think they just didn't want to buy all the candles and all the hassle of, like, doing it. Anyways, that aside, it got really late, and we were like, okay, we could just watch it online. Because, like, they're not even gonna do the whole service. So we watched it online. But and then I think I ended up just playing games, and which, don't get me wrong, I love video games. And then I think I ended up cleaning most of the day. I wanted to go through my closet, which is a part of one of the vlogs. If you follow the Ludaweenies YouTube channel, I don't think the video will be out yet, but in part of the vlog, I just go through my entire closet, and I got rid of a lot of things and donated. I donated all of it, actually. I threw away a couple things. I threw away, like, shoes that were just old, or, I threw away, I think, a couple shirts or something, but they were just too old to donate. But I donated, like, 4 or 5 bags of clothes, which I personally, that sounds like a lot, but I just hold on to things. I hold on to pieces of clothing that I don't need. And never, ever will I wear. First of all, I don't fit them. They were from 6th grade. But I had Galaxy jeans. Galaxy skinny jeans. It was when the whole Galaxy phase was in, and I went to Hot Topic, and I begged my mom to get me these Galaxy jeans. I think I maybe wore them to the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and that's it. And I never wore them again. And I still kept them, because I was like, maybe I'll wear them to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Maybe I get invited to space. No, I'm not ever going to wear them ever again. They don't fit. I literally am, like, probably a foot taller than I was then. They don't fit. I think I got massive thighs from working out, alright? I'm just built different now. But, so I just hold on to pieces of clothing that I think I'm gonna want one day, or I'm gonna need. It's not even a want. It's like, I'm gonna need this one day, so I have to keep it, because it'd be a waste if I don't. And I finally realized, if I need it again one day, I will just go buy it, because 99% of me believes I will never need it again, so I will never have to buy it. So yeah, it was just kind of getting rid of a lot of that stuff. And it was that with a lot of things. There was jeans I have never even worn since, again, 6th grade. There were shirts that have never seen the light of day, ever. Some of them had the tag on them still, and I was like, okay, you said you were gonna keep this for an event. You never wore it. Get rid of it. But I'm just really bad at it. And then there's some shirts that I was like, oh, I would never wear this again, or it doesn't fit, or it's got a bunch of holes in it. But I really like the time that I had when I wore this shirt, and it's like I went to, I don't know, my favorite movie or something. I was like, I have an attachment to my clothes. So I bit the bullet. I just got rid of them. I said, go bye, be gone, virtually broke. So yeah, I got rid of a lot of clothes, which I'm proud of myself. And I spent most of my Christmas Eve probably cleaning and decluttering, but it felt nice. And then I watched Elf, I think, during it, but I watched it on some website because we have the DVD, but I couldn't find it, and I wanted to watch it. So I definitely looked it up online to try to watch it because we literally have the sites that you can watch. I just don't have them on my phone. So it didn't really work, and I low-key think I might have put a bug on my phone because now it just kind of shuts off randomly. So that aside, I half watched Elf, cleaned, and then played some video games. And then we spent Christmas morning, obviously, together. And we opened a bunch of gifts. And I really, really, really love gift giving. Gift giving to me, that's not even my quality. Like, no, not quality time. That's not my love language. My love language is quality time. But my gift giving is like, that's how I love showing people that I love them. Like, I love giving gifts. Seeing people's reaction, it doesn't even have to, like, they don't have to be like, oh my goodness, just seeing them, like, their face light up, or just a smile, or just like a nice, like, I eat that up. And so I love gift giving. Christmas is just an excuse to buy more gifts because I'm the type of person that I'll just give people random gifts throughout the year. It's just fun to me. So I definitely went a little overboard with my dad this year because my dad is my best friend, and I love hanging out with him, and we've been able to hang out a lot more now that we're just taking a break from the band and everything. So I've been able to hunt with him and just kind of play video games with him, and I even streamed with him. We played football. It was really funny because I don't remember how to play NHL, or not NHL, that's the hockey one, NFL. I don't remember how to play NFL. I definitely lost us a game. He definitely rage quit, so it wasn't a part of his record, but it was good quality time. So we I don't know. I loved this year with him. So I got him Dungeons and Dragons kind of whole book and guide, and a little kit of how to start, and a starter kit, and then little figurines we could paint, and because he really wanted to get into Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, I am so down. I've kind of read the rules and learned how to play it. I've watched people play it. I think the whole like friend group of Valkyrie and who else did it? I think maybe Offline TV. I don't know who all did it, but I know they streamed a Dungeons and Dragons session, and I watched that a little bit. But it is just kind of hard to stream because it's all imagination, so it's hard to keep up with that if you're not in their brain. But, so I know a little bit about it, but I was like, I'm down to get into it with you. So I got him the book, and then a little kit of, like, how to get started and what to do. And then I got us little figurines that we could paint together, because then again, it's, like, quality time. Then we can all hang out. We can all do the painting. And there's this little cool dice. I was gonna get him this dice. It was, silver with, like, blood splatters on it. And it looked sick, but I was like, I'm not gonna get it until we're in. Because if we're not in, then I'm not gonna buy a bunch of stuff. But then I told him about it, and he was like, you should have definitely bought it because I'm in. So might be buying that soon. Anyways, so I got him a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and he really, really liked it, and I am very proud of myself. And then I'm trying to think of everything else I got. I think I got my mom like a Diet Coke shirt because she loves Diet Coke. Oh, my camera's gonna die. All right, we're gonna see how long this goes, and the camera dies. We'll move to a different, I don't know what we'll do. Anyways, so yeah, I got her a Coke shirt, which was really, really sweet. And then I got a bunch of cool clothes. Honestly, loved them all, and the shoes. I really, really like the shoes that I got. And then I got I'm trying to think of it. Oh, my shelf. I've talked about my shelf so many times on stream and stuff. I am so stoked for my shelf. I can't even describe how stoked I am. It's a really cool shelf. I can't wait to build it, and I can't wait. It's for behind the wall when I stream, so that it's really cute, and it's got all my figurines, and it's gonna have my little anime section, my little Pokemon section, my gaming section. I got a bunch of cute prints from you guys. I'm gonna put those up, and right now it's gonna go in my room, but I've been talking about on stream a little that I'm looking to move in the next year, so it'll go in my apartment, little stream, I don't know, section, room, whatever you want to call it, content machine builder room, it's gonna go in there. So I'm very excited because I love my shelf, and it's probably one of my favorite things I got. So I'm gonna hook that up and test it. And then I also got some VR stuff, so I'm excited to test that out on stream and play with you guys and just kind of discover that part of the world. But yeah, this Christmas was really, really sweet. And then we actually left from Christmas to my cousin's house, and now we're here and we've been hanging out with family and hunting and just kind of lounging and eating all of the good Christmas things. And then when I get home, I'll be able to build my shelf. I'm so determined to build my shelf. I want to do it so badly. But we've also been playing zombies, and my family gets so heated during zombies. You want to know, like, competitive? It's my family. It's fun. Like, it's fun, not gonna lie, but there's a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling. It's a lot of lives threatened. It is hard. Zombies goes hard, but it's super, super fun. I just heard a noise. Am I gonna die? There could be. I mean, there are wolves out here. I could die, technically. Oh my word. I genuinely thought I saw. Oh my word, I heard a scream. I can't do it. Guys, I'm scared to death. But so yeah, Christmas has been really, really, really great. And then I'm here now, still hanging out with them. We're actually about to play zombies, but I'm out here filming, doing the podcast grind because I got to, because I'm not gonna skip a Tuesday just because some malfunctions and things didn't work out. So we're here. We're doing it. We're doing the thing outside in freezing cold weather. But I hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas and your holidays, and if you didn't have someone to spend it with, or you maybe your first year away from your family, I hope you were able to still have fun. And with New Year's, I hope you still have fun too. We're actually going to the playoff games for Georgia. If you follow football, Georgia, there's a cat behind me. Oh my word, it's Arlo. Guys, okay, pause if you're in the video. Look, this is Arlo. He's one of those, I don't know what he's called. He's a very fancy cat. What are those fancy cat names? I don't know. They're like, I don't know what they're called. I think it's Maine something, but they're really big, and this is not even as big as he's gonna get. And he's really cool, but he's frightening sometimes. He's gonna go on the ice, bro. He's literally gonna go on the ice. Wow, you're a cool cat. You're a cool little cat, man. Anyways, if you follow Georgia, they made the playoffs, and they're going to People are yelling. This is great. This is the quality content you need. They're going to play playoffs. I think they're playing Ohio State. I'm pretty sure they're playing Ohio State, and I'm excited to watch them and see how well they do. We're gonna go. It's in Atlanta, I believe, and it's inside, which thank goodness, because I will freeze my butt cheeks off. But you best believe I'm vlogging it. You best believe maybe even going live. I know I'll go live probably the night before because we're in a hotel, but that's what we have coming up for the New Year's. So I'm excited for that. And if you don't have anyone to spend the New Year's with, you can join the streams. I don't know exactly when I'll be live, but at some point I'll probably be live on Twitch, which is just Ludaweenies. So you can come hang out on the streams and I'll just be a part of something if you don't have that. And if you don't want it, you just want to party alone, homie. But for this podcast, I wanted to read funny Christmas / New Year stories because, okay, we're back. Camera definitely just died. Got really cold. Tried charging camera. Guess what, camera didn't want to charge. That's okay. We're going to continue on. Even more scuffed video quality, but we're good. We're chilling. As I was saying, we are going to the Georgia playoff games this, I believe, Saturday. So when this goes up, probably in like 3 days-ish, 4 days-ish. And I'm very excited to film it and go live. I think the day before, might even try going live during it. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Kind of cool, pretty cool, whatever. I think they're going to win. I'm stoked. And I'm more into hockey. If you watch the recent vlog, we went to 2 hockey games, and I've been to a couple other than that. I think I've been to 5 or 6 in general. I love hockey games. Hockey is so fun. I love that they can fight. That brings it to the next level. And then, I don't know, something about hockey, I just love it. And that got me actually into skating because I saw them obviously being able to skate. And I was like, I want to do that. Whatever that is, I want to do it. I tried skating. I wasn't terrible. The first time was terrible. I didn't let go of the little helper thingy. But the second time, I actually was able to do a lap without the help, without the wall. Actually, they didn't let us use the help. I had to use the wall. But without the wall, I was able to do it. And then we're going to go back, I believe, this week. I'm going to try to not use the wall at all. Will I at first? Probably, because, I will not have skated for a little bit. But the goal is, 1 lap with the wall, and then the other one's not touching the wall at all ever again. So, I'm very stoked for skating. I want to be able to at least use a hockey stick and puck and like be able to skate and score a goal. Not in a game, not professionally, not with other people on the whatever it's called, ice. Literally by myself. I just want to be able to do it. It's just I want to be able to say I did it. Anyways, that is like my main sport is hockey, and then I do like football. I like watching Georgia play, so I'm stoked to go be part of it. I've never been to a playoff game, so that's gonna be hype. But that's kind of my New Year's. I almost said resolutions, New Year activities. And then I know a lot of people. I was thinking about doing a podcast about New Year's resolutions, but my personal belief on them, and I might do a video include this, and might not. So if this is just a podcast take, this is just a podcast take. We don't judge here. My personal take is New Year's resolutions suck. Like, they're awful. Because I feel as if people decide they want to do something or change something about their life around the last months of the year and decide, well, I'll just wait till January 1st and that'll be my New Year's resolutions. Issue number one, you're waiting to change something for a few more months. You're continuing a habit for a few more months when you could just stop what you're doing then and change then instead of waiting and procrastinating that change in your life. Issue number two, you're placing these, not even goals, these resolutions on a like holiday, and I feel as if that kind of tricks your brain into being like, okay, so we'll do it for a little bit and then we don't care for this of the year. Instead of placing goals, which I know some people might argue is the same thing, but I think New Year's resolution and goals are two completely different things. If in October you decide, hey, I would like to skate. I would like to be able to skate and use a hockey stick and be able to score a goal by the end of next year. Let's say that's your goal. Sure, that could be a New Year's resolution, but if I title it as New Year's resolution, I feel as if maybe psychology, maybe not, maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. But I feel as if I title it as a New Year's resolution, there's a bigger chance of me not actually doing it and not actually accomplishing that goal if, or rather than, I don't know English. Obviously, that should be one of my resolutions, to learn English. Anyways, rather than say in October, my goal is in 3 months to be able to skate without using the wall, in 5 months to be able to skate fast and stop and all that stuff, in 8 months to be able to confidently just skate and do whatever, and in 12 months be able to use a hockey stick and score a goal. I feel like doing it like that, setting those goals, not only do I start in October, which I decided to do this, December? So I'm not using October, I'm using December as an example, but I started in December instead of waiting till January 1st, waiting for that new year, new me, like, no, stop it. It's a lifestyle. You don't just have a fancy little resolution and for 3 weeks do something and then you go back. No, change your life. Make a goal. Have it become your lifestyle. I feel like it's a lot of, I feel like this could be a whole other podcast, but I feel like quickly, a lot of people are like, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to not eat carbs ever. New Year resolution. And then 2 weeks in, they're like starving, which obviously if you take something out of your body that it actually needs, it needs carbs, you're going to be starving. And then they're like, oh, it's so hard. And then obviously if you're starving yourself, your body's going to be like, I'm hungry. I need something like good. And there's a better chance that you eat a giant meal that wouldn't be bad, but because you have been not eating enough calories through the entire 3 weeks, your body takes it and holds on to it because it's in a starvation mode. And then you're like, well, I messed up already. Forget the New Year's resolution. I'm just eating whatever I want. Instead of starting small and little lifestyle changes and being like, okay, I want to make sure with each meal, I at least eat something veggie-wise. I want to eat more veggies. I feel like it's a little bit easier, a little bit more attainable, and your body appreciates it because it's like, hey, I need veggies. Hey, we're still getting my cheeseburger. Hey, we're still getting desserts here or there. Hey, this wasn't a huge shock to our body, and our body's actually thriving. And you might notice you feel a little bit better mentally, a little bit just like your face just feels better. I know when I eat like crap, I eat really like sugar-filled foods, I just feel it in my face. I feel like tingly in my face. I don't know if that's true or not for like actualness, but I just feel it in my face. If anyone else feels that, please let me know. But I just feel like I feel like cleaner, dude. My stomach doesn't hurt as bad, and then you're just, when you want something sweet, you don't eat literally 5 different tubs of ice cream. You just want something a little sweet. You get a little bit of ice cream, and you continue on your day. So that's my whole rant about like New Year's resolutions and goals and everything. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait for January 1st, and don't just do it for the first 3 weeks. If you want your life to actually change, you got to make lifestyle changes. You got to set goals, and you got to start now. Don't wait the 4 more days, because that's 4 more days of a habit you want to break. Mentality wise, I had things that I was like, well, for the new year, yes, I would love to. I always pick a word. I pick one word that I want for the next year to be, and helps me kind of through the year without putting resolutions, but I still get to be a part of like the little celebration things. I'm like, hey, I'm still a part, but I'm just choosing a word. But mentality wise, I started like 4 months ago changing certain habits that I had learned and did. And if I would have said, hey, that's like, I'll do that New Year's resolution, that's 4 months of literally going down the drain in mentality wise, taking a poop in the brain hole instead of 4 months of progress. So now I'm going into January 1st, already 4 months ahead. That's my little rant on New Year's resolutions. So, all that aside, I'm going to playoffs for New Year's. But yeah, that's my little New Year's rant. If you want to make a lifestyle change, don't wait till New Year's. Don't wait for a holiday. Literally start now and set little goals. I feel like little goals are achievable, and your brain's like, hey, we did this one, let's keep going. Let's do 5 more days. Oh my word, we hit the 5-day goal. Let's do 10 more days, Instead of just being the entire year, I'm just gonna do this. I'm sure some people can, but I feel like majority won't. I'm gonna go find my little stories now that I've talked for a while, and we're gonna read some Reddit stories. I'm not gonna say the names, obviously, because it's Reddit. I don't want to expose anybody out here, but I'm ready to read. I have my phone here, reading them, and I'm ready. Let's do this. These are Christmas embarrassing or funny stories, I believe, or New Year's. I think I did both. But I'm ready. Okay, you guys are all so serious, and I'm here to lighten the mood. When I was about 12, my parents got into a fight at one of those Christmas tree lots, and so it was decided that there would be no Christmas tree in our house that year. Christmas Eve rolls around, and my dad, clearly upset that there is no tree, leaves the house around 2 p.m. We all know he is headed to the bar, no big deal, except it starts to get late, and we make the ham and all the trimmings. What's trimmings? I feel like that's a... I feel like that's a British thing. Am I right? Is that a British thing? I feel like, I don't know. I just, some sending British vibes. I don't know if that's the thing. It's sending British vibes. Okay, I'll keep going. But I think, I don't know, because we definitely don't have trimmings. Okay. Wait until about 9 p.m. and then eat. 10 p.m., no dad. 11 p.m., no dad. My mom calls the bar to check on when he's coming home. They say he left hours ago. Seriously starting to worry that something horrible happened to dad on Christmas, my mom decided to go look for him, while my brother, sister, and I try to get some sleep. Around midnight, we hear the garage door open and a horrible crunching sound. My brother, who at the time is around 6, starts yelling, Santa! And runs around the house. Not Santa, just Dad. Dad drags a sad-looking tree into the house. It's dropping pine needles everywhere, branches broken all over it, and tries to set it up in our living room using a stand. But the base is too long, and he goes to the garage and gets the rustiest-looking handsaw I've ever seen. Tries to cut the base, proceeds to almost sever 2 of his fingers. That is terrible. Isn't rust, like, could kill you? Can't rust kill you? He almost took off 2 fingers? He's rushed to the emergency room by my mom where they're able to reattach his fingers. So his fingers were legit off. His fingers were legit off. I can't. We gotta move on. He will wake up on Christmas morning to an almost naked tree propped up against the wall and blood everywhere. Oh, and that horrible crunch I mentioned, he drove his car into the garage while the tree was strapped to the top, breaking the garage door. Holy. That's pretty bad. I can say, I've never had a Christmas like that. Shout out to the dad, though. Even being upset and drunk, still wanted to make his kid's Christmas the best and went to get a tree. Homie had the right idea. Didn't get there quite like he should have, but had the right idea. That's crazy. I wonder if can't the rust kill you? Like, I feel like that he definitely was in a dangerous situation. No? That is, when was that? 9 years ago. Okay, so who knows? Who even knows? Next story. That's bad though. I'm sorry. Okay, I got one for you. I was just having 2 weeks off from work to take care of all the kids' Christmas programs and so on while my wife took a trip to Hawaii, do pictures at a wedding, and visit her sister. She got back on the 23rd, and we all do the family get-togethers and so on. Christmas Eve 2011, we get home from her brother's, and she needs to go to work. I try to stay awake until she gets home, and I end up falling asleep with a migraine. Aw, I wake up at 4:30 a.m. Christmas morning, still clothed on top of the blankets, face down. Why do you have to let us know he's not naked? He says still clothed on top of the blankets face down. Okay. Anyways, I go use the restroom and assume she's asleep on the living room because there were still some Christmas boxes sitting on her side of the bed. I move the boxes and go out to the living room to tell her she can come lay in the bed. She is nowhere to be found. Is this going to be a sad one? I call her mom thinking they might still be working. Her mom tells me they were done at 11:30 p.m. I tell her she never made it home. We both go walking around town looking for her in the 8-degree weather. Felt like negative 18 with the wind chill. That is cold. That's too cold for me. I get a call from her mom that she is on her way home and meet her there. Oh, okay, she's okay. Something seems off, but I ignore it because I don't want it to be true. She was with a friend in quotation marks that I didn't know she was friends with, and in quotation marks, lost track of time. No, I don't want to read the end of this, but I must. Later in the day, I finally can't let it eat at me anymore, and I ask the question, do you have feelings for blank? Yes, I love him, came the reply. What? I obviously heard her just fine. I was just blown away. I couldn't believe it. She repeats, I love him. I'm in love with him. Merry Christmas, everyone. No. Why? Why are you cheating on Christmas? Why are you cheating in the first place? I'm sorry. Back it up. Why are you cheating in the first place? But on Christmas? Why? No. Stop. What are you doing? On Christmas? You the Grinch? Hello? Whoa. I can't decide if it would have been better if she would have lied and told him after Christmas, because now I'm sure this dude every Christmas remembers it as the one he found out that his wife cheated on him. You should have either told him sooner or told him after Christmas. Don't do it on stinking Christmas. But then don't even cheat don't cheat. Don't cheat. But don't cheat on Christmas. What? How do you do that? That's so sad. I feel so bad for this guy. That's not embarrassing. That's just sad. And there's nothing else. I do hope either they were able to work it out or he found someone that is better than that. But that's just so sad. There was no update. This is sad. Okay, we're moving on because that was sad. Okay. My sister and I stayed up really late Christmas Eve. We removed all of our youngest brother's presents from under the tree. We emptied his stocking. Oh no, not the older sisters. We stowed all the presents behind the couch, and we put all his stocking stuffers in a bag. He was like 8 years old. Oh, they're about to crush this little 8-year-old's dreams. Oh, he's gonzo. We meticulously wrapped and put bows on boxes to him. We filled them with charcoal something, I don't know what that is, and Q-tips. I can't remember why we chose Q-tips. On Christmas morning, he got to go first because he was the youngest. He tore into his first box, and then his face just dropped. He went out of turn and ripped open present number 2, also coal and Q-tips. He ran into the other room where the stockings were and dumped his out. It was a plastic bag filled with charcoal and Q-tips. This is funny. He lost it. My parents had no idea what we'd done. I think my dad was ready to just beat us for ruining Christmas. So my brother finally got it together, and we showed him where we stashed all his toys and where we put his stocking contents. He was happy after that. To this day, probably 25 years later, I still get called the Christmas Grinch by my whole family. Everyone conveniently forgets how complicit my sister was in this. Oh, did I say that word right? I don't know. I don't think I got roasted. Those presents didn't wrap themselves, and I suck at wrapping. That's funny. That's bad, obviously, because poor little kiddo was sad, but that's funny as crap. I feel like that's something, if I had a younger brother, I definitely would mess with him, and I feel like I would do something like that. But when I was growing up, I was afraid of getting coal. I had a fear. I had those phobias. I had coal phobia. I was afraid of getting coal from Santa, and I just remember every night being ready to throw up that I might be getting coal, even though I literally would tell my parents if I had lied over itty bitty white little lies. I'm not saying it's good to lie, but I think I genuinely remember my dad being like, why are you telling us this? And I was like, I said I saw a bird and I didn't see the bird, and I'm so sorry. Like, I would cry to them. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I did not see the bird. And I don't know why I told you I saw a bird, but I told you I saw a bird and I didn't see the bird. And I was like, okay, now I'm getting cold. I'm literally a terrible human. I'm never celebrating Christmas ever again because I'm a terrible human. So if that happened to me, I know I would like probably break down and cry, but it's funny because it didn't happen to me. Okay. It wasn't funny at the time. Oh, this is gonna be great. But now it's hilarious and will forever be known as the Christmas surprise. Oh, I messed the mic. So let me set the stage real quick. My family always goes to Christmas Eve Mass. Then we come home and we exchange our Secret Santa gifts between siblings. Oh, that's actually a good idea. If you have a big family to do Secret Santa, we do... Is that where you exchange names? Oh, it is where you exchange names, huh? We do that with our family here. Okay, never mind. I was like, that'd be a great idea, but we do it. I just didn't know that's what it was called. It's tradition at this point, and there were a lot of us. My two sisters, my brother, my parents, my grandparents, and my sister's fiance. That's a lot of people. So we were in multiple cars. Mass had ended, and I left with my oldest sister and her fiance to go back home. The others were several minutes behind us. Another important thing, we had two small dogs, a Chihuahua and a Chihuahua Terrier mix. Sheesh, that's a tiny dog. That we put in small cages when we leave the house. So my sister, her fiance, and I get back home, and as soon as we walk in the door, we were just bombarded with the smell of hot diarrhea. There is no way this girl just described it as hot diarrhea. That is as nasty, but that's funny. It was so pungent that my eyes were watering. No. Definitely a top 10 worst things I've ever smelled. I have no idea how long that diarrhea was just sitting there, but it was long enough that the entire house smelled like crap. It felt like we were choking on it. I could practically taste it. Oh, that's nasty, but that's so funny. Oh, that's nasty. That's so nasty. Oh, I lost it. I gotta go back to the photos where I took the... Go back. Okay, I'm going. There's my TikTok that I posted on Instagram earlier. Wait, why do I have so many photos? Go back. Okay, here we are. This story is so long also. Okay. They are practically tasting it. So my sister, her fiance, and I are just yelling and freaking out at the smell. The house alarm is going off. Why is the house alarm going off? I'm sorry, is there a fire? And the dogs are barking to be let out of their cages, just like they always do when they know we've gotten home. Wait, why is the house alarm going off? I'm so confused. So I get over to the cages, and obviously the smell is getting so much worse the closer I get to the source. I let the Chihuahua, I let the Chihuahua Terrier out of the cage first because he was completely clean. The Chihuahua, on the other hand, well, he didn't just poop in his cage, he had a full-blown diarrhea crap explosion. His doggy bed was soaked with crap. It had leaked out onto the hardwood floors. It exploded out onto the walls. The small white Chihuahua had practically rolled in it. He's sopping wet, and all his fur is stained brown. That is terrible. So he's sitting there barking at me and wiggling like crazy, flinging crap everywhere because he wants to be let out of his cage. And I'm just sitting there in my dress and heels, trying not to throw up and trying to figure out how I can let him out of his cage without letting him drag liquid crap all over the house and furniture. The fact that they're describing it as liquid is gross, but so funny. My sister finally goes to the back door, starts yelling, "Potty, gotta go potty," since that's our dog's cue to go outside. Luckily, the little poo mop went straight out the door, so he didn't drag crap all over the place. There were just a few drops in a straight trail to the back door, so it could have been much worse. But the cage, the floor, and the wall are still a mess. If you've ever seen the scene from Bad Grandpa where he craps on the wall, then you can picture exactly what kind of mess I'm staring at. Except this one isn't a prank. It was actual crap. All over the walls, and I'm the one who has to clean it all up. This is what would happen to me. This is what would happen. I'm always the person that cleans up actually not the dog crap, but I used to always be the person that would clean up animal crap. I just don't clean up dog crap anymore because I am so like gag reflex wise, I can't. I almost was like, I'm never gonna get a dog because I just can't. It's so nasty. I'm the one who loves animals so much that I want to work at a vet, so naturally I get stuck with all the gross pet jobs as practice. Also because I'm the only one who, besides my mom, doesn't freak out and vomit when up close and personal with doggy crap and other nasty stuff. It's also the one who had to pluck out butt worms that had dragged from his booty fur. That's gross. I couldn't do that. I would have to go somewhere. I couldn't do that. Anyway, the first thing I did was just toss the entire dog bed. It was soaked and not even worth trying to save. I also threw his food bowl and his water dish into an empty grocery bag to clean later. Because, of course, they were covered in crap, too. Then I had to use an entire paper towel roll to sop up the hardwood floor and the cage floor. Don't forget, I'm doing all this with my bare hands since I couldn't find any rubber gloves. That is rough. I had to drag the cage away from the wall so I could get close enough to clean it too. Why did they not just hose it? Why did they not just toss it and hose it? But in my haste to get everything cleaned up, I forgot that the liquid crap could spread underneath the cage, so of course I just spread this crap even further along the floor. I'm not sure how I would have been able to avoid doing that, but whatever. So my sister's fiance quickly carries the cage outside. Okay, here we go. So it can be hosed off later, and that makes more crap drop onto the floor between the cages and the back door. I'm so confused. Oh, I'm so focused on cleaning up the epicenter of this disaster. So my sister cleaned up the floor trail where it had dripped. Finally got the crap on the wood floor completely wiped up and disinfected with Clorox wipes, so I could get closer to the wall without putting my heels or my bare feet into diarrhea. Oh, that's gross. Then I started wiping it off the wall. Surprisingly, I didn't stain or tint the white paint brown, so at least there's that. That's good. Now at this point, I've been cleaning up crap for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. By the time I'm just finishing up cleaning and disinfecting the walls, the rest of our family finally got home. Of course, when they walked in the door, they also started freaking out about the crap smell permeating the air. I forgot that it smelled in the entire house. I forgot about that. It hadn't cleared up at all in the time I've been cleaning. If anything, the smell had gotten worse because I was moving and spreading it around. No! So they're all asking what happened, and in the meantime, the poor dogs are still out barking because they would want to be left in. We couldn't exactly let them in earlier since one of them is still soaked in diarrhea. They still have not cleaned the soaked little poop mop, as she described him. Luckily, I didn't have to be the one who bathed the poop dog. See? I didn't make it up. Since everyone agreed that I'd done more than my fair share of cleaning up the mess. Yeah, first of all, if it's not her dog, why is she doing it? My mom had to go outside and pick him up with an old bath towel and carry him straight to the tub. Then I spent like 5 minutes furiously scrubbing my hands with soap because, again, I've cleaned it all up with my bare hands and got all over me. But I was also lucky that none of it got onto my dress or my heels. The fact that she did it with her bare hands is na-stinkin'-y. So yeah, that's the story of the infamous 2015 Christmas surprise. Hope it made somebody laugh, because I certainly wasn't laughing at the time. It's a little funny now, but honestly, it's still a nightmare when I think about it. That is awful. That is very, 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 very awful. I would, I just get rid of the whole dog. Bye, sorry. You did this to yourself. I don't know. How did such a tiny dog create such a mess? That's what I want to know. How did he create such a mess out of such a small little body? Unless it was both of them. I feel like it could have been both of them that did it, but... And also, how big is the cage? If it's a small little chihuahua, I feel like you could have easily picked up the cage, taken everything outside, hosed it down, including him, so you can pressure wash it. I'm kidding, don't pressure wash your dog. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot of different flaws in this story, but we'll leave it at that. This one is, I think it's an embarrassing one. This happened when I was in middle school. My grandma's house was in Chicago and very small. We have a fairly large family, so seating was always a hassle. The tables would line the walls with just enough room for the chair pressed up against the wall. My seat was placed in the dead center, the furthest away from leaving the dining table. Therefore, if I wanted to enter or leave, I would have to have 5 people get up and shimmy across to let me out. So a brilliant idea pops into my head. I just crawled under the table and threw my chair into the spot. Everything worked out as planned. Then I finished eating. I always ate fast, and I finished really fast. I really wanted to leave. I thought the best idea was to crawl through my chair, one of those metal folding chairs, just like before, and crawl under the table and out the other side. Well, I guess I ate too much and got fatter. I didn't realize this until I was halfway stuck in the chair. I started to panic. I was stuck. Oh, no. Eventually, my cousin saw me struggling and just pointed and laughed. One thing led to another. My entire family was dying, laughing, and taking photographs of me. Started crying and screaming to get me out of the chair. No, I hope they're not actually crying. And they tried pulling me out, but I was really stuck in there. My dad ended up having to take the chair apart to get me out. Pretty much, I've never lived that moment down. Every Christmas, I hear the same story. How do you get stuck in one of those chairs? I'm so confused how you got stuck. Because... I'm so confused. Did you crawl in through the back? But how'd you get through the back if the back's against the wall? So you would just I'm so confused how you got through it. Unless I'm just thinking of the different chair. But that doesn't make sense. Because if you're talking about those folding chairs that there's a little thick piece of like lining that you can get through. You wouldn't be able to get through that if it was pushed against the back. You know what I'm saying? Anyways. I don't know. Maybe the story's not real. I didn't story proof or fact proof these, so these could be made up. No one knows. But that dog one was not made up. There's no way you can make that up. Okay, so I'm at a party and a guy I sort of know comes up to me and tells me that my professor, who was also there, that his dad has the world record for push-ups, but hanged the number change the number every time. This person does not know how to type. So I go over and say, I hear your dad has the world push-up record. I can't speak because this is written so weird. So basically they went to the guy and said, I hear your dad has the push-up record. He freaks out, says his dad just had both his arms amputated. Oh, I'm freaking out, and now this guy is leaving. This story is written so weird. I go over to apologize, and he just turns around and says, I don't want to talk about it. I'm standing there in a crazy shame because everyone knows now. That is so sad. Turns out it's just a joke. Oh, it was just a joke! The professor orchestrated. He has a normal dad, but man, I was scared. Oh! Okay, that makes it a little better. That makes it 10 times better. I thought it was real. I was like, there's no way someone's that mean. Why would you do that? But that's funny. Okay, that's a little funny. That is awful though. Evo Adventure, that's rough. A little rough. It's a little bit rough. Oh, is that it? I think that was the last one. Oh snap. Well, that's all I have. That is all my Christmas stories. We ended with quite the strange one. That's crazy. Okay, so that is all the Christmas. I guess there was no New Year's stories. It's unfortunate. I'm trying to think if I have any like funny or embarrassing. Oh, I do. I do have a funny. I guess it's embarrassing a little, but I have a funny Christmas story. So I'll finish with mine, and then we'll finish the podcast. But growing up, I didn't have money. Obviously, bro, I barely have money now. But I didn't have money, and I would try to win things at like Sunday school or school in general to kind of use as Christmas gifts because I wanted to give people stuff. Again, I've always loved giving people stuff. So I, being the kid I was, when I didn't think I had enough presents or good presents for someone, I would go to their room and pick out something they liked of theirs, that they owned, that was theirs. I would take it, and I would wrap it, and I'd put it under the tree. Because little Lulu thought, well, if they have it, they obviously need it or like it. This is great. They're gonna love my gift. And I've definitely wrapped wallets, keys, jackets. I was little, like 8. Jackets, shirts, shoes. I wrapped it all. You wanted it, you had it, you owned it, it was under the tree. So, the first couple of years, no one caught on. It was just like, oh, haha, it's funny, she's just a kid. And the next couple of years, when they would lose something around Christmas time, they'd be like, Lou, I'm opening the presents under the tree because I'm pretty sure you wrapped something I owned. So, I don't do it anymore, at least. Now I buy people gifts, like I talked about earlier. And I'm a good gift giver. I'm not gonna buy myself on the back, but I'm a good gift giver. But I definitely stole people's stuff and then gave it back to them during Christmas. But they loved it. They always were so excited to finally get it back because they thought I had lost it forever. So, I think I was a genius. I think I was a certified genius. Or manipulator. Is that the beginning traits of a manipulator or a psychopath? Who knows? Anyways. That is my funny Christmas story, and that's all you get until next time, next Christmas, and I'll share some more. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. It's a little bit shorter, but I am still at my cousin's house, and they're playing zombies, and I'm gonna go play zombies with them. Plus, this is a little late, so I gotta edit this and make sure it's good to go. But I really appreciate everybody just hanging out with me and listening to the podcast. Again, I hope you had a really, really good Christmas, and this new year, I hope you celebrate it. Mark your goals, write them down, write your goals down. Don't say the resolutions, don't just say, oh, well, they're in my head. Write them down, 3 months goals, 5 month goals, 10-day goals, 1 day goal. Write down goals and achieve them, and celebrate it when you achieve it. It doesn't have to be like a huge celebration. Just like, I don't know, you do a goal, be like, okay, I got 10 minutes, I'm just gonna read my book because I'm celebrating that I finished my goal. That's my one and only Luda advice for today. Anything else? I feel like, I got a really exciting email today. Fancy me, adult Lulu, got an email about something Streamwise, which is actually really huge. So I can't share exactly what it is yet, but I believe by the next time a podcast goes up, I'll be able to talk about it. So, exciting stuff. Ludaweenies as a brand in the whole, but just streaming and all that is going. It's going, homies, and we're going up. And I got a lot of goals for 2023. Also, the apparel is live. I think, we haven't talked about it on the podcast yet. The apparel is live. If you want Ludaweenies apparel, we have Luda merch on the site. which is a Luda signature shirt, and I love the design so much. I went and bought stuff. We have the little gaming raccoon, which is just a little cute. I want to always have a little cute kind of drawing of mine in the shop that you can have on any sort of clothes. And then there is a Be Okay With Being Yourself brand, motto, whatever you want to call it, line. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's the Ludaweenies motto, and I want to remind myself, and I want to remind you guys, so there will always be some sort of Be Okay With Being Yourself line in the shop as well. And there's only a few more days for some of the objects that are in the apparel shop, which is just ludaweenies.myspreadshop.com, and it's in all my links of all my things that you can click on. But there's only a few more days for some of this stuff. So go look at it, go see other things. Those designs will be up for a little bit longer, but there's certain products that won't be up anymore. So that's super, super fun, and I'm just really, really, really happy with how it turned out. The quality is genuinely amazing. My hoodie, the Be Okay With Being Yourself hoodie, is all I've been wearing recently until I got this raccoon onesie. So if a raccoon onesie was the thing that had to beat it out, not anything else, you gotta trust it. But yeah, go check out the apparel shop. It's really cool. My hoodie, it's really cool, and I really love it. And a lot of you guys have already gotten your merch, and it's amazing. I love it. I love seeing it. It just makes my heart so happy. People got it for Christmas, and I was like, for Christmas? It's good enough for Christmas? Oh goodness, my little inner kiddo is crying. But yeah, thank you so much for just all the support. The streams have been amazing. Follow the social medias at Ludaweenies. Be there to see all the updates, streams, lives. I guess that's the same thing. Any merch updates, everything else that's happening. Make sure you're there to go check it out. I think that's it. I hope you have a very, very Merry New Year. And make sure you keep an eye out for new LudaCast episodes. They come up every other Tuesday right now. Until I do it full time. Then it'll probably be every Tuesday. But right now, every other Tuesday. And make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Become a Ludaweenie. Leave a 5-star review. But don't be a meanie. And remember that you are always a queenie. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you later. Bye.